Hello, and welcome to Juilliard Open Ed. Ryan Hugh McWilliams here at the Juilliard School in their beautiful Kaufman Dance Studio. Today we're joined by Eric Goldemberg, architect and designer and founder of Monad Studio, who has brought with him his latest creation, a 3D printed, two-stringed piezoelectric violin. We are also joined by violist and violinist and Juilliard alum Jean Andera, who will learn to play this alien instrument right before our very eyes and will later perform a piece with it for our enjoyment. Why don't we go take a closer look?
The tuning is also kind of different, and there's all this inverse tuning.
Right.
So let's talk a little bit about the physicality of the instrument. What is it made out of, and what is the process of making it?
So they're printed with PLA plastic, which is a biodegradable material. It was designed using the software called Maya in the computer. The printer deposits layer by layer, very, very thin layers, always printed in parts, and then jointed, and they have seams, and those seams tend to be deliberate in the design.
What was the inspiration?
It is to do with the things that surround us in Florida, in nature. What we are about is creating these forms, we're creating these bodies that are there to interface with musicians' bodies.
Musical instrument invention has sort of always been at the forefront of technology and technology advancements. Way back in time, violin strings were made from what they called catguts, which were not actually catguts, but intestinal lines that were of animals that were twisted up and used for strings. And then in the 20th century, they moved to steel. Do you think 3D printing is the next step for musical instrument invention?
This strat has been around way too long, and there's something else that can be done. Why would you have to keep doing the same thing hundreds of years?
It's a little give and take. It's a dialogue between the maker and the performer. I went here to Juilliard, and that's what our time was spending, technically perfecting our art. But it also helps to have someone on the other end who might not have the knowledge of the technical knowledge I have of my instrument, but you have the technology and design.
Yeah, the more also you understand about how a typical instrument needs to be, you can discover certain fissures, certain places where there's not much really being invented.
As a classically trained violist and violinist, how did it differ than playing your regular instrument?
You're kind of investigating as you're doing it, like what's going on, where do I put my thumb, even just chinned, holding it up, the weight of it is going to be different. It's just figuring out what the instrument can do and how you can highlight what it can do the best. Mm-hmm. But it's definitely not something you sit down and you're like, oh, I got this.
It was really neat to hear you play, and the sounds that came out, are kind of almost otherworldly. There was a moment when it sounded like there were whales in the room.
People have talked about the sort of figural appearance of these violin as some sort of sci-fi Klingon weapon. I heard of them all. I think what is interesting and striking is that it's a sort of departure from the norm of the kinds of things that instruments like these look like.
Because technology is moving so fast, you just have to be able to know as much as possible and kind of want to know and not be afraid to delve into that world.
If you like what you saw, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and visit us at open.juilliard.edu. Till next time.